This week, we've talked about priorities, systems, and building a business that doesn't rely on you. Today, we're going to bring it all together. If you felt overwhelmed or unsure where to start, this episode is going to show you the small, practical steps you can take to make this a reality. Welcome to Small Business Big Visibility, the podcast empowering you, adventurous small business owners, to attract your ideal customers and boost your revenue. I'm your host, Jason McKenzie. Each week, we'll explore easy to implement tools and strategies to take your business to new heights and build the lifestyle you want. If you're ready for more profits and less stress, let's get started. This week, we've been focused on one central idea. Priorities drive everything. Monday, we covered why priorities matter more than people think. I shared for years how I was stuck reacting to client demands, thinking I'm making progress, but I was really just running in place. Tuesday, we revealed the hidden cost of poor prioritization, like missed revenue, burnout, and stagnation. Wednesday, we got practical and I shared 4 powerful prioritization techniques you can use to get control of your day. Then yesterday, we talked about the big picture, building a business that doesn't rely on you. I started with my journey from being the bottleneck of my business to creating self-sustaining systems that allowed me to finally step away. Today, we're going to pull all this together into a simple step-by-step roadmap you can use to build a business that works for you, not the other way around. If you've been following along this week, you've probably had a few moments where you thought, that all sounds great, but where do I start? I get it. It's easy to feel motivated at the start, but also easy to get overwhelmed by all the changes that need to be made. That's why today I want to share my simple step-by-step process for turning priorities into freedom. Now, when I was a kid, my parents had a huge collection of wooden blocks. These blocks filled a container that was more than 2 feet tall and 2 feet across. I had enough blocks to build almost anything I could imagine. At first, I'd build small houses, simple towers, but as I got older, I started to build taller and more ambitious structures. I'd stack block after block, carefully placing each one. Eventually, I got to the point where my creations would reach up and touch the ceiling of our home. I'd stand there looking up at what I'd built, feeling amazed at how something so big and so impressive was built one small block at a time. If I'd focused on reaching the ceiling from the start, it would have felt impossible. But by just focusing on adding the next block, I would keep going and going and going. That's exactly how it also works in business. You don't build a successful self-sustaining business with one big move. You build it block by block by block. You stack one system on top of another one habit on top of another, and before you know it, you've built something that reaches heights you never thought possible. So let me walk you through the 5 building blocks that I've used to move from working for my business to building a business that works for me. If you can commit to this process, just one small consistent action at a time, you'll also see progress faster than you think. Building block 1, get clear on your goals. I mean your true priorities. Imagine driving to a destination without a map. You're guessing which way to turn, backtracking every time you're wrong, wasting time, gas, and energy. That's what it's like running a business without clear goals. I used to think my goal was to grow my business, but that's as vague as go somewhere new. It's not clear. Instead, I learned to set specific, measurable goals. Here's your building block. Write down 3 specific goals for your business. Be clear and specific. Instead of grow my business, try, I want to increase revenue by 20% over the next 12 months. Or maybe onboard 10 new clients this quarter. Or launch my new course by this date. Once you have these goals, they're your guiding light. If you ever feel overwhelmed by your to-do list, ask yourself, which of these tasks directly supports my big goals? If the answer is none of them, it might be time to cross it off. Building block 2, use the priorities power plan. If you've ever seen someone clean out a messy garage, you've seen the power plan in action. Sort, prioritize, and focus. You don't tackle everything at once. You sort it into categories and tackle one section at a time. That's the essence of the priorities power plan. Here's how it works. Step one is the brain dump. You write down everything you think you need to do. No filtering, just dump it all out. Then you take all of that and move it into the urgent, important matrix. You sort your tasks into 4 groups: urgent, important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, not urgent, not important. From that matrix, you're going to pick your top 5 tasks that are truly important. Number them from 1 to 5. Then you're going to block out time for the top 3. If it's not on your calendar, it's probably not going to happen. So make sure you schedule blocks of time for your top 3 tasks of the day. Also, make sure you're doing a review of what you get done, what's left, and how you'll adjust tomorrow. As a bonus, make sure that you're also delegating what you can from that list. Now, just like cleaning out your garage, you're not trying to tackle 25 things at once. You focus on 5, and you're making time for the top 3 no matter what. Building block number 3 is build one system at a time. Have you ever watched a child learn to stack blocks? They don't start with a skyscraper. They start with one block, then they'll add another and another. Your business systems work the same way. So start with one system. Pick one process you do regularly, like responding to client inquiries, scheduling calls, and then you're going to write down each step you take to complete that task. That is your first system. It doesn't have to be perfect, just clear enough for someone else to follow. Once you have this list written down, you can delegate it. And if you can't delegate it yet, at least you're no longer relying on memory. All right, building block number 4, delegate one task at a time. This one's a big one for a lot of business owners. It's like handing the car keys to your teenager for the first time. Scary, but also necessary. You can't do it all. You already know that. But you might be thinking, I can't afford to hire someone right now. Here's the reality. You don't have to hire a full-time employee. You can start with a freelancer, part-time assistant, or even just an automation tool. Here's your action step. Write down 3 things you do every week that someone else could do. Next, pick one of those tasks and find a way to delegate it. Building block number 5, be patient with the process. This one is hard because we all want instant results. But think about planting a garden. You don't see the sprouts a day after planting seeds. It takes time. You water, you weed, and eventually you're harvesting a bounty. Your business is no different. When I started, I thought I'd be free in a few weeks, months, a year at tops, but it took me months of small changes. Each week I'd add something new, delegate a task, improve a process. Some days I felt like I wasn't making progress at all. But looking back, I can see that all these small steps truly did add up. If you're feeling overwhelmed right now, that's normal and okay. The goal isn't to be perfect yet. It's just to make progress. So just start with one of the 5 building blocks mentioned today. Remember, these building blocks create strong foundations. Remember, success really doesn't come from big leaps. It comes from small, daily wins that stack up over time. So pick one system to create this week, write down your steps, and you've already made progress. Until next time, prioritize with purpose, protect your peace, and watch your business thrive.